Did you know that the Greek Prime Minister was going to call this referendum Monday?
The Greek Prime Minister had made it very clear to all European leaders that this was one of the major options that he had in his mind. And indeed, therefore, in that sense, it was no surprise.
Well, it was a surprise to European leaders. They've all said that. They feel sideswiped, don't they?
Well, what happened, because all this is being discussed, I think, out of context, is that once again in Europe we saw the same movie being played out. On last Thursday, we made an extremely important decision, one that was very, very helpful for Greece. As you mentioned, it cut the debt by 50%. It also gave the European Fund the right to buy stocks and bonds of different countries in the secondary market. It recapitalized banks, it supported banks. Yet, a couple of days later, some people in the markets started doubting it again,
sure,
coming out and saying it wasn't good enough, it wasn't strong enough. So what Greece and Greeks need to do is to give a very strong message, not only of the fact that we have taken and will continue to be taking extremely tough measures for our country, very painful measures for our people, not only that we are grateful for the loans that we are receiving in the process, but also that once and for all we will answer those who are trying to speculate around the country that it doesn't allegedly have the political will to apply changes. We have applied more changes than any other democratic country in only a year and a half in history, and that we are going to safeguard Europe in the process.
So I need to clarify one thing. Did the Greek Prime Minister tell those who were at the European debt talks last week that he would call a referendum for the Greek people on this decision?
The Greek Prime Minister had informed everyone in previous meetings that this was one of the options. I do not know if he said last week specifically something on this, but this is something that has been on his mind for a very long time, and European leaders were aware that
on
this
his
was one
mind,
of
but
the
possibly
options
not
that
on his lips. So possibly he didn't tell European leaders during the debt talks. What will the referendum question be, sir? Sorry, what will the referendum question be specifically?
It will have to do with the new program, the new loan agreement. In other words, the Greek people will be asked to approve the new program and the new loan agreement. As I mentioned, this is a very positive program for Greece. The debate in Greece has been very difficult, as you know and as you see in pictures for the past year or so. This will be an opportunity for everyone to focus on the important things for Greece. Greeks are fanatic supporters of Europe and the European perspective of Greece. They are fanatic supporters of the stability of their savings, of their salaries. These are issues that this loan agreement guarantees. At the same time, as I said, there's been all this doubt, all this lack of reporting of the pain and suffering of Greek people. I think it's about time that we put all this to rest. We safeguard Europe, safeguard Greece, and move on with the application of all these very tough measures.
All right, and that we understand. When will this referendum be, and do you expect that the Greeks will vote yes or no?
I expect and I believe that the Greeks, for the reason I told you before, will vote yes. I think everyone is getting a little tired of doubting the wisdom of the Greek people or their commitment to Europe. And the referendum will take place the moment that the details of the loan agreement are finalized. I hope very, very soon, to be honest.
When is that? January, December, next week? When?
It's up to us. There are discussions right now on a number of elements of the details of the loan agreement, and they can happen very soon if everyone moves fast and with determination.
Okay. Last question to you, sir. Does Greece have a plan B if indeed the Greeks vote no? And, for example, are you printing drachmas now anywhere in the world if indeed you were to pull out of the euro, for example?
I can give you only one answer, and this is very sincere. The Greeks, in my view, will not vote no. I do not speculate or anything else. And our commitment has been proving up to now to apply tough measures, to take the pain, to change the country. And this is a commitment that I think will be demonstrated as well in this referendum.
So what do you say to those watching this show now who will be thinking that this decision is jeopardising the entire future of the Eurozone? For those who think this is a reckless gamble on the part of the Greek authorities, what do you say?
I say that we have been discussing in Europe for the past year and a half the future of the Eurozone, and entirely irrespective of the referendum that was just announced, that future has been placed in doubt by markets, or some in the markets, for a long while. In fact, although Greece is the center of the storm, it is well known that Greece is not the center of the problem of the debt crisis in Europe today. We are changing everything that we must, and we have the obligation to our partners to do. But everyone realizes that there are attacks on other European countries and on their debts, that there's a questioning of the capacity of Europe to defend itself. We've watched this movie, as I said at the beginning, many times, and Europe and Greece are dedicated to safeguarding a very strong currency and a very strong union.